Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a lovely day. Oh, God. A lovely day today. We are continuing in the wonderful wide world of Control, now with 100% shop talk. 100% less shop talk at the end of the stream, which I still have no idea how to edit. Which I'm just going to go with it's going to be an utter disaster, but that's a-okay. So I'm glad to hear your AC is working again. I, as a denizen of hell, would be very put off, put away, put upon if, like, I had to suffer through the... Oh god. If I had to suffer through living in Arizona without having an air conditioning system, I would actually just die. There was... Oh god. There was, like, a brief moment when I was here and, like, still getting my living situation. When I just got here from California and I was still getting my living situation set up where I was in an AC-less environment here, and oh boy, let me tell you, is that not good. That is very contra good. I mean, there is a world where I figure out how to use Gen AI to deal with the more edited portion of the stream. Though I have no idea how generative AI would deal with that. I am, actually just planning... How did I get to the map? It's been so long since we've played that I don't remember how to access the map. Oh, it's tab. Perfect. So we need to get to the boardroom, which actually we do need to go through the mail. I mean, how long is the subscription? Is it $200 a month? Because I could do $200 a year. I'm going to be in a situation where I have more disposable income soonish. And like, I would enjoy doing silly things. $200 a year, I would consider. $200 a month, I would not. Because I think Sora is good as it is now, but, oh right, this is the sex, pornography room. What video did you post? They actually made a song about the Oxford comma? No, Sora's actually quite good. It's, actually, thank you for reminding me. It's actually where we got this Bizalmo. I almost forgot, about this Bizalmo. We have, like, a nice little control one. Someone for some reason decided to do Scolder and Mulder, or I guess Scolder and Molly, on the dragon from Neverending Story. And I was like, you know what? This I love so much. So I had Sora replace Courtney Hope with Molly for the lady. I don't Scully's the lady, Mulder's the dude. Because David Duchovny had his dingaling on a porno mag in the 2008. I remember it from a Jib Jab song. But I digress. I did manually Photoshop in our fair fellow Bizalmo because I don't know if I showed what, like, Sora thought I wanted for a Bizalmo previously, but we, well, Green Man. This is its attempt. I mean, The first ones were like kind of like a Doctor Two-Face or whatever the hell that villain in Batman is. Which is fascinating, though deeply disturbing given the fact that it decided they both needed their individual noses. I would have liked to have seen like either the Elmo nose or the human nose, but we're getting too much into the fly here. The second round after the prompt was slightly edited did a better showing. I think we kind of have like a Grinch victory scenario going on here. Um Though I think this one, the first one here, is suitable as like uh, a child's nightmare piece. Jeff Bezos wear the Elmo skin IRL. I don't disagree with you. And this is like the lizard person lore, like the conspiracy theory where like all rich people are lizard people, but I think in fact it is all rich people are just secretly Muppets, both in the oceanic meaning and in the actual meaning. Like, I'm sure, like, I don't know, the Prime Minister of Bulgaria is secretly channeling Kermit the Frog's aura, but I don't want to worry about that. There's something I don't like Bezos smiling. Yeah, I don't know if that's what his teeth look like either, because like he usually does smiles more like this. Um, Sora does a much better job because like this Vummer will know and Strudel will know, but there was a character I made for the purposes of like testing uh Dolly 3.0, I believe. When it came out for free on Bing, and it was Ricky Cheese the Speed Rat. And one of them was Ricky Cheese the Speed Rat infiltrates an Albanian submarine hangar with the U.S. Marines for some reason. And you know what? I think it did a pretty good job overall. I think my only complaint with Sora is that it gets a bit samey. So, for example, this art type and this one, it tends to select towards very heavily, which is unfortunate. But this one really good, as well as this one. And here is the first iteration of the thing. And can I get it that? The original. This is the original, which I think I like the coloration of much better. But we'll deal with the more like Michael Bayed up version. It works fine. Right. But I need to micro mini our friend here. It's probably appropriate for a Bazelle. Yeah. The sad part about this, I think I'm going to be lost in here for the next 10 minutes because I'm refusing to go through the combat arena again, which is going to be very unfortunate. But I think we're okay now. No, we are not okay now. So, what we were doing last time in Control, if I remember correctly, is we had first gotten into the Federal Bureau of Control, and oh my good god. We have just first gotten into the Bureau, and have brought online some segments of it again. And hello, Marvin. I hope you're having a lovely day there. Wait, I can fast travel. Right, I can only fast travel from control point to control point. That's fine. The big brain energy I want to convey is rapidly shrinking due to the fact that I started the stream a bit later in my day than I initially intended. But I will say the Bureau... Basically, we get into the Bureau at the behest of our little psychic friend whose name is Aiden? Or is that Beyond Two Souls? Well, basically, much in the vein of many of the David Cage expanded universe and Remedy expanded universe, Remedy does a better iteration of the concept, sort of. But I'm going to presume that our ghost friend that Courtney Hope has is called Aiden, basically led us here to the Federal Bureau of Control in search of our brother. And we arrive learning that some entity that we don't know much about has taken control of most of the denizens here. And as a result, well, we're in a federal building that has untold numbers of people that are now chanting eldritch sayings that have turned into smoke monsters, a la that one show that was very good that ended badly, which I believe is called Lost. And yeah, basically we watched a dude kill himself, and then we became the director of the federal government. And yeah, things are going pretty well. We walk through our office briefly, and here's a small smattering of our living friends. And look, Mayor Carcetti is making his reappearance here. No matter where we go in the Control timeline, we all are go in the Remedyverse. I guess except for Alan Wake, we always have our friend Mayor Carcetti, which is definitely not a good thing. Did he become Governor Carcetti? I think he did become Governor Carcetti, but you know, I've only seen season 4.
I mean, how is it out there? The comms, the hiss? Sorry, you made it. I'm glad. Emily?
Is real bad out there.
Of course.
Dog Dragon doesn't look puppety. I think Dog Dragon looks great. Alright, initial impressions. What are the impressions being had on us? Technological Euro expenditure. And hello, Blobber. I hope you're having a lovely day. Official tea time. Is it really a case file? It was the first one I opened? I'm just blind? Oh yeah, it's like literally right there. Thank you, Nemi. Analysis of the Hiss Threat Part 1 Confidential. Summary. Initial encounters with the entity known as the Hiss have revealed various behavioral facts. Most notably, the Hiss is able to invade or corrupt control points, altered items, and even humans, radically changing their behavior. Curiously, any person wearing one of the wearable HRA Hadron Resonance Analyze armor things, devices that Dr. Darling has been distributing over the past few weeks has not been affected by the corruption. The only known exception to this fact is the new director, Jesse Faden, who possesses an inherent immunity to the Hiss. This could indicate that she has already been corrupted, but her behavior is so in contrast to that of other Hiss have dismissed the theory. My final observation comes from Miss Faden herself. She is able to cleanse material and organisms of Hiss corruption, We have tested this ability on a Hiss-corrupted entity, but unfortunately the process seems to kill the host. Perhaps the host's physiology becomes reliant on the Hiss? More work to be done. Refer to file redacted for full report. Uh... Loving evening... Oh boy, I'm slurring my speech. Lovely evening at the cinema with a friend seeing Thunderbolts, the new Marvel movie. So the new Marvel movie is about Bolt from the movie Bolt. We have a dog victory scenario in the Marvel universe ready to contest with the super dog from Superman, who's from DC, which I'm really surprised we haven't had a super dog movie from DC yet, given how lackluster their franchise seems to be doing. I thought it was a good movie. I don't remember either. I remember seeing the cartoon version of the Never-Ending Story, but I don't recall seeing a live-action version.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself. Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
I mean, when you're selling meth, you want to be very unexpected in the way that you're shilling your product. Otherwise, you just get caught by the feds. Well, I'm glad the FBC has invented the idea of spooky reactors. Fittingly very bipolar, it was good when trying to be a silly action and being super serious about bad guy being an embodiment of the depressive side of bipolarness. But the middle bits were mid. I'm actually surprised that the movie was good when it was being super serious, given the fact that, like, I feel a lot of stuff in recent times has Donnie, is that Ati? Oh god, that is Ati. We'll deal with our beloved Finnish friend in a few minutes here. Uh, Given the fact that a lot of kind of franchises now seem to be very put off by super serial and what do you say, the Resident Evils, for example, very much not done a service by the kind of overly serious energy that it has. Right. That's presumably the first director. That's Trench, and we're presumably slotted for there. We've had, what was that, 13? 13 directors preceding us. But let's see if Emily has
Hi,
any
Jesse.
lore. Right, so we did all of this previously.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
I thought we were going to spend more time elaborating with her.
Someone's singing. Where's it coming from?
Going from the Finnish reaction room. Perfectly fine.
Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
The elevator.
I heard the hiss attack the power plant. Brings up a lot of new questions.
Which, the elevator's over here. No, but like, we're living in a world such that I think, like, our hated friends in Hollywood need to take a chill pill in regards to, like, having things, like, overly serious. Because, like, I've been watching, I think effing things is pod? U? E. I've been watching Andor and Only Murders in the Building with my flatmates, and the thing that I would say about that is I've been very much thoroughly enjoying Only Murders in the Building because it doesn't take itself overly seriously. Like, it's fun, while still conveying kind of like a good story going along things, where like I like Andor, but I don't like season 2 of Andor as much. I'm only on episode 8. I think that some of the writing decisions they made are not what I would have liked, or not Star Warsy. But that is me being like persnickety. I'm landing the struggle about this. I don't like what they ended a character. I don't. I think they could have conveyed New Planet in a better sense. I think they could have done a much better job writing about New Planet. And I fully agree that the start of Season 2 was, not ideal. Because, like, it felt like they were trying to have, like from a directing perspective, like, having 3 or 4 plots overlaid all at the same time within the same episode, and just spread it across, like, 3 episodes, like, I feel they could have dropped one, or, like, reordered it where, like, things weren't as, like, oh god. Why is the jukebox just sealed in here? What did the jukebox do? Apparently we don't have clearance. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan about what they did with the Maya Brigade. Uh, I liked seeing the theft of the fighter. I thought that was fun,
Time to work. Meet me in the maintenance.
but
Like I said before, the janitor is a friendly face.
you have a ghost fin.
The maintenance sector is the janitor domain. If I can find Ahti here, he can help me reach the override. Maybe it was you who got me into the oldest house with the lockdown on. Maybe it was Ahti. It felt like he made the elevator appear that took me to Trench's office. Is Ahti guiding me too?
Yeah, Adi really does have like Force Ghost energy. We'll see Adi more in another game, which will confuse me about what he's supposed to represent in actuality. Because I'll cycle around and bring this up here again. That the elements of the expanded Remedy universe are governed by the lores and logic of I really wish I had more of a brain about me right now. Actually, no. It's impossible given the fact that I cannot dual task while streaming. The gentleman who was the competitor to Freud, whose name I always forget, even though I like him better. Not Heidegger, who I think was a physicist. Young, thank you, Wick. Carl Jung, Carl Dark Young, renowned physiologist who fought ghosts. No.
Tutorial override is right there, in the control room.
Oh, we're getting a little
How do I get
Chungo.
there?
Rendering it that. Boost frame rates, quality, foliage quality. Turn off. I'll have medium ray tracing. Okay, that seems to have helped. And basically the whole idea of the collective unconsciousness, the and all that jazz, which I think is intellectually fascinating, just as a philosophical domain. But I don't know how to fully grok its significance inside of, like, the realm of ghosts. Or, I should say, outside of the realms of, like, the psychic. You know what, I deserve that. That's perfectly fine. Do not explode things on your face. That's a very important thing to do. No. But, like, I Jungian philosophy I find interesting from what I have heard and discussed and what little I have read. I mean, I've meant to read more, but I have been perpetually distracted by
Tutorial override is right there, in the control
being
room.
a right-handed psychic is the worst. No, what's even worse is, like, we can switch, like, what hand we're on. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah. Uh... are many things that we don't understand about the oldest house. One of them is the physics of fire extinguishers, where we have, like, Sonic Adventure 2, like, Dr. Eggman's Rumble Tumble Theater kind of exercises going on, where you're fighting against the very concepts of me attempting to use my brain. But in a more reasonable kind of telling of things, we have... Oh dear. Game sound is very low. Alright. Turned up again. I'm always paranoid about the mixer that I have in OBS. I know Blobber says don't worry about it, but I will worry about it because, like, as we've established, I am a sound fascist. Which Strudel would be defending. Or not defending, who Strudel took a sampling of, which broke my heart. No, I transpose sound and fascist. Where previously I said I'm a fascist regarding sound, which is why it's such a tight cut. Where you said, where you cut it such that I said, I'm a fash. I'm not using, what filters do I have on? I have a limiter, I have a compressor, I have a gain, I have a noise suppression, I have a noise gate. I don't remember why I have the compressor on. These are settings I made many, many a year ago, and I don't remember the why. Okay. I think the two concerns I always have are, am I blowing out the ears of people when I'm speaking into the mic? Like, whenever I get into the red, I'm very spooked. Or, alternatively, like, the game overpowering me. Which I did previously have a much bigger issue with. And you know what, Strudel? We gotta make money in this economy somehow. Sometimes you gotta do a little trip around town in order to make sure you have the cash in order to afford your DoorDash money. It's just the modern economy that we have to suffer through. Or some of us have to suffer through. Not me, because Amazon pays me sufficiently, but some of us have to suffer through. And there's no breath activities going on in the world of Rick Bingus's drug dealing simulator. Yeah, what's nice about them as well is they do degrade. Well, some of them do degrade. I do enjoy Jeff Bezos' Drug Dealer Simulator. Which, if you think about it, from a certain perspective, you could just say is consumerism. Consumerism being the drug. But I mean, like, and if we're going to, like, abstract it into the sense that a hamburger is a sandwich, as well as a taco being a sandwich. Like, a cultist simulator is a drug dealing simulator. Anything that kind of plays on, like, neurochemical or like emotional tick responses to things, we could abstract as a drug deal simulator. Now, I'm not sure I'd go there because I'm too lazy to kind of cross that T. Billionaires end of the world bunker, no. Though on that note, I have been thinking of what other games I want to play on here. I think I would like to do some more grand strategy games again. Like, I'm thinking about doing a few runs of World Ablaze on stream, in which I think I will get big rage energy from myself, which is making me hesitate a little bit because I don't like having that energy, but I know the last time I played World Ablaze in multiplayer, I basically had some choice words. I enjoy the Jim Nemi. And I don't know what's wrong with calling a hamburger a sandwich. Or a taco a sandwich. Like, they are legally a sandwich. No, I won't cheat. The streams are going to be called... Oh, fuck. The streams are probably going to be Wellington runs X country into the ground until we play the United States, where Wellington has a nice relaxing time bombing Germany into smithereens.
A carousel horse. Why is kid stuff always so creepy?
I mean, what are like we gotta figure out what the overarching, like, what is it, like, the anthropological, paleontological definitions, because, like, penguins are a mammal, as well as an avian, as well as a fish. And we have to figure out what the superstructures are for how we're defining things. And I believe that a sandwich is one. I think it's a sandwich and a burrito is how I would have the, like, food evolution. And I would say an empanada and a Cornish pasty are burritos. Not an animal scientist, unfortunately, Wick. They just feel like mammals. It was more of a... more Chica's bag. Live young is a mammal. What are dark young? Are dark youngs mammal? I guess so, given the fact that they're like sheep. Boobs is a mammal? There's some mammals who lay Do not lay gays. Lay eggs. Okay. So booba is mammal. I'm afraid of this conversation derailing us ever more further than we are currently derailed. Dark young are horrific monstrosities of tentacles that resemble trees, probably not mammals. Oh god, we're going to the Jesus chamber. Not again. I didn't realize they resembled trees. I thought they resembled sheep. Granted, the only time I've seen a dark young in media portrayed was in Overlord, which did not paint a favorable view of them. And Economy magazine? We tell ourselves it's okay to be old. The oldest man in the world. The retirement issue. Please go away. No, but like, I think World of Blaze series of streams would be entertaining from the perspective of watching me run countries into the ground. I think we'll have the inaugural one be Germany when I have time to play for 10 hours straight, and we'll have a nice little betting pool right around the time the war starts of what year we're going to lose the war in. And it'll be a nice way to purloin people of points. 1935. Well, I mean, Germany did lose in 1935, though not in the war, not the war. But technically, they lost in 33. I do like the Black Pyramid cigarettes. I do think that's very cute. I also like how they have their own newspaper. I thought monotremes were their own thing. Wait, are we, like, attempting to win World War II with, like, one-level boats of, like, slaves doing oars? Because I don't know if, like, slave-powered propulsion is going to beat the 18-inch guns of the Royal Navy. I'm pretty confident it won't, but I will admit that I have not tried that yet in a video game. You will watch the... Wait. How do I access it? Alright, fine, we'll watch it on TV.
Drawing the pyramid. The what? The pyramid. What's a pyramid? The Black Pyramid. It's in the astral plane. Airplane? Astral plane. It's big, white, and empty. Or is it? It's a weird, crazy alien dimension. The white goes on forever. You can get lost in all that white and never find your way back home. I miss my home.
Okay, monotremes are egg-laying mammals. Like the echidna and platypi. I do like the idea of Australia getting its own taxonomy, like we have an Australia victory scenario, which is pretty pog. And hello, Pizza Nut! Hope you're having a lovely day, and I hope the Raiders are having a wonderful day as well. Welcome to the wide, wonderful world of Control, where we're about to talk to a Finnish gentleman about, getting our groove back. By which I mean unhaunting the Department of Federal Spookums.
Well done. You got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop. I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ati here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ati. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes, yes, easy peasy. It's just around the corner. But first, we need to get you working. Very small, couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
You think there's a dog buried in this? I can tell you are not yesterday's Krause's son. That's why you'll make a great assistant. Very well. I'll hit the facts on the table. Mä kyllä sanon perkele suoraan, että this house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They've already messed up the cooling pumps. And the power generators of a power plant, perkele. And the pensioner inside is starting to feel the band around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this. Fix the coolant pumps and the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow.
But don't you worry. I've left you clear instructions. You'll catch the end of the thread before I go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later, when you have time.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it and soon this crisis gonna be last winter's snow. You better go now, so you don't have to run with your head as your third leg. The door in the back leads to the plant.
The door in the back. That's great. Thank you, Ati.
I would like to say I am very happy we have another game with Courtney Hope, because I just loved her character in Sandman universe, otherwise known as Quantum Break. Just because of how awkward, like casually awkward, she plays her characters. I just think it's a delight.
Yep.
And, like,
Burn the trash. Throw it in the fire.
there was no cannibalism going on, first of all. Second of all,
Burn it into a reindeer, not into a moose.
Aaron Yachty. Second of all, there's no cannibalism energy going on. All we did is not play RimWorld or Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. The only two games in which I would engage in infinite cannibalism because I'm a monster. But we don't worry about that because we're currently not playing those games. Cataclysm because it doesn't run on my computer right now for some reason. And RimWorld because I don't know how to make that entertaining. So it's A-okay. But you know, I didn't realize, like, the echidna is in Papua New Guinea. Like, I don't know, like, the echidna always struck me as, like, a very kind of, like... I actually had no impression of what an echidna is, because the only echidna I have seen is, the Knuckles the Echidna from Sonic Land, but unfortunately the only recent iteration of Knuckles the Echidna I have is like the Film Cow version from a million years ago, where like he's just hella jacked and like they have an over highlighting of his dong as part of the bit that they did. And I know for many of you who have no idea that
Power. Explosion. Too much. Director's duty.
Trench, you're really making this unfortunate timing for me here. All of this will be very confusing to you about what I'm talking about here who have no idea what Film Cow is. The Film Cow is a YouTube channel from the glory days of YouTube about 15 years ago that did many amusing and not so amusing things. But good for high schoolers at the time. That is fascinating and very welly coded is the best I can describe it, such as John McCain and his vegetable friends, and Obama's dark secret. Also, I ain't shit here, so the idea that I could push something like cannibalism is laughable? I didn't take that as a pro-cannibalism comment. I thought something in something I said or something in chat provoked the idea that cannibalism was afoot. And technically everybody's shit here, so long as you're able to have a concept tickle my brain. Such at the beginning of the stream, where we looked at Sora for about 5 minutes. Because there were things to talk about regarding Sora. And an anteater crossed with a porcupine. That sounds terrifying. I don't know how you would do Vicky 3 cannibalism in a way that does not get you redacted by both Paradox and Steam, but I say that when we have a laws mod that does include a genocide option now. So I don't know anymore. Arish, who I believe is a human, which it is, Simon Arish, in Oop, Object of Power, escaped the Panopticon a couple of weeks ago, and they want to keep everyone having an eye out for it. So if anyone sees a merry-go-round horse zipping around the sector, alert me immediately. Do not try to contain it on your own, and definitely don't bind it to yourself. Your security chief, Simon Arish. Oh! I missed the initial comment that says I'm a goofball. Cannibalism was an IRL conversation that I'm pretty sure would hold over into this if anyone in IRL, my IRL, was here. Understandable. I'm trying to think about like how often I've talked about cannibalism with people. I don't think it's very common IRL. Makes sense, but like I've done it always in the context of like a Steam game or something. Oh, actually, that also reminds me. But nothing like other than that, which makes sense, but I'm actually kind of surprised that I haven't. Northmore.
Northmore was director before me. I never wanted his job. I never wanted power. I purposed.
See if I can turn up voice. Oh, we're at max for everything.
Northmore was director before me. I never wanted his job. I never wanted power. I purposefully avoided it. Didn't trust it. Didn't want to rely on it. Northmore was all about power. A man like an explosion, hungry for authority, for order, for more, until it was too much. I had to find a solution in the end. Contain the situation. Northmore never liked me, but he went along with it, to his credit. He didn't really have a choice. I suppose at the end of the day, a director's most basic duty is to keep the lights on. Here's to you, Northmore. There were no prime candidates waiting in the wings, but I was there. Had been the whole time, keeping my head down, working my ass off. I had nothing to lose. I picked up the gun almost on a dare.
So the gun, as we had been told previously, is the mechanism by which the director interacts with how the director is chosen, and if you are found to be lacking, the gun kills you, which is terrifying. I don't remember which one of these we watched. I don't think we watched any of them.
Something's coming. The whispers growing louder. The worst winter storm in Bureau history. A retribution for my sins. Our sins. This threat could destroy the Bureau, everything I've built. Destroy me. A web spun, turning this place against me. I catch glimpses of it in the corner of my eye. It's just out of reach. Elusive. It's clever. A perverse game of hide and seek. Is this part of an attack? Obfuscating the facts. Dimming my eyes. It's hard to tell. I need answers. I haven't heard back from Darling. I fear for my friend, my closest ally. I think we made a terrible mistake all those years ago. That thing he studies is putting us all in danger. It's my duty as director to keep the Bureau safe. It'll be difficult. What's done can't be undone. There's no easy fix. Magical thinking is a requirement for survival. Pain and suffering are mandatory. To change things, you have to break yourself. I don't know if I have the strength. I'm old and weak. I'm afraid. I can see my hands trembling. I'm losing control.
Alright, so we have Old Man Energy here. Is Chilton the name of the actor for Director Trench? Because he does do a good job. One of the things I enjoy about Remediverse is that they always have a fantastic suite of acting talent chosen for what they have. Even if they're not actually speaking the language. Like, Alan Wake's voice actor is not the physical person of Alan Wake. Dr. Darling, who we see in this game, is the voice actor for Alan Wake. And hello, Decoy. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing lovely. I'm doing relatively pog on my own. Do I need to clean this? Yes. So this one feels more like, like fiddling with rather than cleaning. Which I suppose is good. You don't want, like, the reactor to fall into enemy hands, even if the tertiary systems have, fallen. And it's quite bad if you actually have to sleep at your post. I do love how they're all wearing their suits. No, but I digress. The idea here, I will say, kind of reminds me of The Expanse, actually, where when you're doing a starship battle, it is better to slag the ship than let either the engine room or the...
Out here, lady. Go see Chief Arish. He's just inside. He'll help you.
I am your director, madam.
Hey! Chief Arish, FBC Security. Shouldn't you be in a safe room?
Goodness gracious. Because, you know, if they have the reactor or the bridge, you just lose the ship. Which is tragic. Hey, Simon. Hey, Simon. I got your message. Yeah. If someone in the sector's asking about Artie, just tell him you'll handle it, and leave it at that. Under no circumstances should any personnel intervene with his day-to-day routine. I told you everything I know about him, so you could better deal with his habits. But yes, it's still a very much classified matter. I also saw your report about the quarry worker who wandered into the Foundation. Detaining him was the right move. We'll figure out what he saw before we decide the next steps. Cheers, Lynn. P.S. In case you hadn't noticed, something's up between Trench and Darling. I know this isn't your strong suit, but try your best to stay out of it. Didn't you know his name is like Lynn Voorhees, the famed South African emigre? Uncle to
They all
Jason
have
Voorhees.
HRAs. We're on the same side.
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm here to perform the directorial override to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC Security. I'm just... Oh, hang on, you're the new director. It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities, please.
Right. Faden, ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing? Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of an attack. See, what's inside is dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling? He's here?
No, he came down a few days ago, before everything went to hell. He was out of it. Smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys unlock the doors out of here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? Oh, that's catchy. Oh, listen, the radios aren't working, so if you find my boss Salvador out there, could you please ask him what the plan is? I'm sure he will have one by now.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
He sure has a lot of faith in his boss.
Try to stay alive.
When the converters and coolant pumps are working again, we should be able to get this baby back down to a safe temperature. I hope.
What do you know about the hiss?
Not much, only what I've seen. Well, they use the same tactics that Marshall and Salvador taught us, which makes me think that the hiss haven't completely erased the people inside, which is a pretty fucking horrible thought. Or they're just using whatever they find in their victims' heads. In any case, they are really eager to get inside the power plant.
Why do you think that is?
Shit, I don't know. They want to make my life harder?
So Voorhees is the first name that came to mind when I thought of a name that sounded like Afrikaans Dutch, which I know is unfortunate, but it is the truth of the matter. To be fair to Arish here, he isn't the director of security, he's like a section chief. Which I suppose would elevate your point more, Wick, given that you'd expect, like, the section chiefs and then going down to have more of a, like, hey, I'm a beefy guy, I do roids, energy about them, which, fair. But, like, I feel there's a difference between internal security and, like, people who go out and, like, I don't know, like, conquer the city of Silent Hill. Those are the Rangers under Lady McLadyson, who we haven't seen yet, and who I think would technically be more of the FBC Firebreak game that we will be interacting with in an amount of time when it releases. But don't do our boy Arish dirty here. He's like the himbo hire Like, he's there for, like, the eye candy, at the very least. And he seems to be competent at his job, which is a secondary plus, given the fact that this is the only security area in the game as so far that we have seen that has not fallen to the hiss. And Jesse did come up with the idea. We do know that there is some kind of, like, gestalt. Which I'm not sure if I'm using gestalt here, but basically, certain aspects of information are being uploaded into the minds and memories of everybody in the building as it becomes true, especially in regards to Faden. So if we're going to bring in a very poorly phrased Jungian approach here, it's kind of like the collective unconsciousness, there are elements of it that are defined by the directorship, where everybody knew that Jesse was the director immediately. Like, we become director after getting the gun, and Emily's like, oh my god, director! Ah! And she's like, Pog. And, the hiss probably works the same way. Now, I have no idea by what mechanism that works, but I would probably guess it is something about the triangular kind of thruple going on here between the oldest house, the directorship, and the board. I don't think any of my guys could conquer D with try to handle Silent Hill. You're not wrong, Pizza Nut, but at the same time, the reason why I love at least the concept of Control is this game is about the Federal Bureau of people who would deal with the city of Silent Hill. So, like, if anyone's able to deal with Silent Hill, it would be these guys. Or at least they'll be monitoring it, as we'll see in Alan Wake 2. So there'll be, like, a whole bunch of, like, government Flower by Irene trailers going on. And they'll be just watching people like Ethan Sunderland just walk into the... Or, James Sunderland walk into the city and then get attacked by a rotund man. Who may or may not have murdered people because they called him fat. And small child who had space cancer. And I will not discuss the other lady because her story is actually properly tragic and I don't remember her name and that makes me feel bad. But that's neither here nor there. And what do you mean by the FBO-DWSH? The Federal Bureau of Dwarves with regard to Silent Hill? We don't only hire dwarves in Silent Hill because we don't need dig teams. We need tentacle teams because it's Cthulhu coded.
What do you do here, Arish?
Security chief of the maintenance sector. I make sure all the weird shit down here doesn't bother the maintenance crews. Learned everything I know from Salvador. The best security agent this bureau has ever seen.
And you like your job?
Stop glazing your boss.
You know, everyone thinks that maintenance is the lowest rung on the ladder just because we fix pipes instead of writing memos, but I gotta be honest. These are the bravest people in the goddamn building. I'm proud to work with them.
I've done a few odd jobs with these kind of folks. They say what they mean. I like that.
I mean, Pizza Not outed himself as a Fed, which is tragic because we could not have made this joke while playing the Deus Ex streams.
What exactly is the power plant?
But understandable.
Listen, I only know what Salvador told me, but I know it generates all the electricity for the Bureau, and it's got two very simple rules. Rule 1, keep it below a certain temperature. Rule 2, don't ever, ever open it. Oh, and 3, it's classified, so I shouldn't ask.
Sounds like secrets are standard operating procedure around here.
Oh, yeah, it's all part of the job.
Arish seems to be the security chief for the maintenance sector. So if we branch it out, there's probably a maintenance chief here who may or may not be dead, while Arish is his counterpart in the case of a building intrusion or well, the reactor, which I'm just going to spoil now, is the Northmore Containment Sarcophagus, or sarcophagus container, because the previous director is being juiced for his energy. Alright, well, you've been designated as a Fed, which means you gotta turn in, which means you get paid peanuts, and other jokes about the Federal Bureau of Federal Bureaus, which the only ones I can think of are the FBI from the shows The Wire and what's the show with the other guy? Raymond Reddington, The Blacklist. Getting milked in the afterlife, the government is a harsh mistress.
What do you know about the service weapon?
Not much. That thing is director only. Salvador told me about the time he saw Trench use it. Sounds like that gun can do some serious damage. Yeah, I did see pictures of it once, though, and it looks different to that thing you're carrying. You modded or something? It's new.
Is new a good thing?
Given the circumstances, I'd say new is our best bet.
Honestly, I would love to see The Wire, because I think Fargo is like the equivalent for The Wire for the Midwest. At least for aura points. I don't know about like other police shows though, because it's like about The Wire is a show about different aspects of a locality and how the intersection of police handle it, sort of a deal. And I can't say that for Fargo, nor can I think of anything like The Wire outside of it, which is actually regrettable. Because you are correct, it would be fascinating to see, like, the travails of dealing with, like, tourists and whatnot. And, all that jazz. Because all that comes to mind at the given time is Butters is a natural-born Hawaiian because he has many gift card points, or what have you, from that episode of South Park. Which, regrettably, I cannot remember at this time. I see your comment, Wick, about getting milked, and the idea of a man getting milked is just transposed into my head here, and it hurts my soul. And I think the idea is not specific corruption events or specific issues, but kind of the aura of the situation. Or aura, not ara. Which is something entirely different, and best reserved for another stream. But,
Do you know this Ati guy?
Of course. He's my favorite coffee break buddy. Dude has got some crazy stories. He probably knows more than anyone else around here, if you can make sense of what he's saying.
Any idea where he's from?
I'm guessing Sweden.
He's from where he's from. Look, there are just some stones that are better left unturned, you know?
I should be going.
Right. You got a lockdown to lift.
honestly, I do think the idea of The Wire for a lot of municipalities would be interesting. Like, a wire for Portland as they deal with like the rise of intransigent political extremism between like both flanks of political extremism. Like one for Seattle, like we can have a CHOP episode, which for those of you unfamiliar was a thing in 2016 where a group of political agitators protested, and the government basically ceded an entire block of the city to them, and it became a like Kaiserreich style anarchist commune that nothing came of. Pardon me. I haven't seen The Shield. I am completely unfamiliar with it as a brand. And no, I endeavored my best to cough away from the mic, which I do not believe was as successful as I would have preferred. I need to go this way. Okay. Right now, I'm endeavoring to go through The Good Wife, which I just hit... What season of The Good Wife am I on? I'm on season 5 of The Good Wife? Yes. Which I enjoyed the first 4 seasons quite thoroughly, but I was looking at the synopses of the other 3 seasons, and I'm hesitant as to where the show is going, but you know what? It's lasted longer than Suits for me, which I'm very happy about. And perfect! Then I can watch it when I'm ostensibly supposed to be working tomorrow. I recently reacquired Hulu because I am showing a friend of mine the nascent season of Only Murders in the Building, which I will always progressively shill because that show is just an absolute delight. Honestly, I should do more watching of shows when I'm ostensibly supposed to be working, because I do more shit posting. By which I mean talking with my coworkers and working, which I suppose is socially more rewarding, but different type of energy going on. And I have seen the first season or 2 of Burn Notice. I thought it was alright, but I dropped it for a reason that I don't remember. Probably because I got bored by another show. I think right now, my kind of inkling I want to go for is... that LA cop show about the 70-year-old who gets hired as a cop. What's that one called? Not LAPD. The Rookie. The Rookie, I keep seeing YouTube shorts for it and the like, which always kind of fascinate me about it. Which is why it's on my list. Yeah, Nathan Fillion seems like a pretty respectable-ish actor. I have no idea what else he's in, but he does an adequate job in what I've seen of The Rookie. Though I say that, I stopped watching the show for the time being after episode 4, because I'm a little baby, and the show made me mad about the artificially construed relationship drama in the first couple episodes, and it made me very mad. That's fair. Firefly and Babylon 5 are on my next kind of sci-fi forays of shows I want to take a look at. Because I've heard Babylon 5 is exceptional, and DS9 is either my favorite or second favorite Star Trek series, and I would like to see more of that. Castle's a detective show, isn't it? I'd be fascinated about that because I've been looking for a good detective show. Examination of paranatural topics. Summary. The oldest house is a place in flux. Thresholds appear with no warning. What the threshold will contain is a question we can only answer once it manifests. The widely accepted theory is that thresholds are dimensions vibrating on a redacted frequency different from our own. When these frequencies match, the threshold will manifest in the oldest house, which acts as a redacted. Others theorize thresholds are parallel universes, or possibly our own reality at a different point in time. Some believe our collection of altered materials affects the house, or attracts the thresholds. We do know for certain that thresholds are not permanent. Eventually, their frequencies shift. Some believe Earth itself is just another threshold connected to the oldest house, which is actually rooted in some other reality. This theory, while impossible to disprove, causes redacted in those who learn of it, so it is actively denied. Refer to File 5-05-1881 for full report. It is Deep Space N you love, or is it the old women being... Well, I do love Kai Wynn being burnt to death. I love Deep Space Nine because it is the series in which it fostered my love of the Ferengi. And I would say, like, the Ferengi are probably my favorite Star Trek race as a result, just because of how freaking goofy they are. Like, there's some sheer joy that can be found in just how goofy the Ferengi are. Yeah, like, the TNG has no idea what to do with the Ferengi. I think the original idea is that the Ferengi were supposed to be the Klingons of DS9, or TNG, which they ended up having to drop because they had no idea how to actually do the Ferengi, which is just dumb. Utilization of paranatural elements, munitions testing on OOP-22, aka Home Safe. The safe object of power can produce a barrier using objects, materials from its immediate vicinity. See OOP-22 case file for more details. Bureau Rangers were given permission to employ heavy weaponry against a para-utilitarian bound to this object in order to gauge the barrier's durability. Redacted and redacted velocity ammunition were tested with redacted results. Probably mixed. Testing will continue after redacted, presumably subject recovers. The safe object of power is clearly a viable candidate for use in combat response scenarios. Allowing para-utilitarians to participate in altered engagements would be an advantage worth considering. Recommend Firefly and Serenity happen together. Billion is a writer looking for real-life experiences for a book, works with the police. I do appreciate that. Anyone who... I feel the meta with modern creative processes is the more real or sincere a given work is, the more presumptuous power it has. And hello, Discount Viscount. I hope you're having a lovely day. I've seen Justified. No, I'm in the process of just watching Justified. It's one of the shows that I'm in the middle of season 1 of, and I do think it is quite fun. I think our main character is a bit of a hoe, but I shan't hold it against him. I am fascinated to see where they bring that story more so, but we'll be watching that more once I finish my forays into The Good Wife. And we're not going over here quite yet. Wait, he's a writer? That's a spoiler, Pizza Not. Truly evil of you. He is listed as an architect as of the episode that I'm currently viewing him to be. Is it? I mean, I generally don't care for spoilers, but I'm gonna tease you for it. Introduced and dropped for being too American to be allowed to be evil. The thing is, I don't think they were a good, like, example of American. Though, I don't remember when TNG came out. Was that the early 2000s or the 90s? He meant Castle? Oh, okay, Castle, not, the Rookie. Never mind. Never mind. You know, Patrick Fillion is a man who gets around town, and, I merely know him from his, nature in... The Rookie. I forgot the word The Rookie for a minute. I guess TNG did start in 89, 88, and then continued until like 95. Was TNG and DS9 that started later, like the mid-90s, and continued... I think they ended right in the 2000s or right before 9/11. I don't know why they're doing anything they're doing, Bummer. The Federal Bureau of Control is a entity that is far beyond our knowing or ability to conceive of concepts. And Wick, you're wrong. It's not so that I can destroy them, it's so that I can walk over them, because I find it adorable that the, oh good lord. I find it adorable that the, I find it adorable that you can walk over them and mess with the jiggle physics of them, otherwise known as the actual physics of them. However, I need to step aside for a minute. I will be back. I mean, I am aware of the mechanics of the game. We don't ever get a better gun. We can upgrade things, though. Which I think upgrading launch is what I want to do, because that is a type of gun. Health is always nice, but eh. Exactly, decoy gets it. Why get better gun when you can enhance your grog energy? I think we'll leave it there for now. We can upgrade our gun. Construct shatter. Construct spin. Upgrade grip. That's presumably the other gun slot, which we just saw how we can upgrade it. What I really would like is dick shot damage, because that seems to be, regrettably, the area in which I'm the most accurate. But as with many things, I have to say, alas. Oh, hey, that was almost very bad. Alright, so I think we need to go down to central maintenance. Because this way didn't yield the thing I wanted. Nope, not this way. But no, I do think that the World of Control is probably among the more fascinating ones that I have observed. Though I will say that is due to my opinions on the Remedyverse as a whole. Because, like,
Replace the parts.
I don't know. For some reason I'm not fully able to articulate. The Remedyverse has stuck its tendrils into my mind quite thoroughly and quite irrevocably, even though their games are incredibly goofy. But I think that's because the type of energy I like to cultivate for myself is goofy. Indeed, the parts that we have not discovered yet, or at least parts of the parts that we have not discovered yet, are redacted, presumably because they're very high security areas that we're not going to see until later into the game. Which I'm alright with. I always like it when games go very heavily into kind of the motif that they're shooting for. Goodness. I'm trying to think of, like, other games that I have played recently that have a concept and they're like, I want this concept, I love this concept, so we're just going to do this concept. Because I think I have to say that a lot of games I have played recently don't have a lot of heart. He said lying because I've been... Well, there's a reason why I haven't streamed for the last 2 or 3 weeks. One and a half of the weeks was due to ennui. Another one of those weeks was due to the Stellaris DLC, which I enjoyed way too thoroughly. And, like, another one was what I am describing as Autism Minecraft. Because I'm playing Greg Tech New Horizons, which is a 1.7 Minecraft mod pack, which is way too fiddly, but for some reason is tickling my heart. Wellington brings a kind of Scooby-Doo energy to the party that not everyone can understand. What do you mean by this, Vummer? What do you mean? I don't know how to describe it, Decoy. Like, I haven't really played Stellaris thoroughly since a million years ago. Of the Paradox actual mainline games that are still supported, it's the one I have the least time in. But, actually no, that's a lie, that's CK3. But, I don't know, I really like it. I like what they've done, but I don't know how to articulate what they've done, which is the unfortunate thing. The still supported line hurts still. Are you big simp for big Rome Imperium? Because I do like elements of Rome Imperium, whose game name I can't remember, other than March of the Eagles, which I know it's not. You're also not wrong, Blobber. I would play a very heavily modded run in which I would play with gigastructures and just build like the Hieronymus Bosch cube, which is a concept that I don't understand, other than I think Hieronymus Bosch is like a author name where an author doesn't want themselves described. The hit game Rome Imperium. Roma boobs in shambles. Imperator Welly. Listen here, all of you. I don't like Imperator. I got dictatored 6 hours of it once, which I had fun for the first 2 hours. But then the next 4 hours were pain because it's a very fun game when you're small child. But when you're medium child and above, the game becomes very punishing to play because there's a lot of nonsense going on. Which is very possible we can blame on me not understanding the game well enough. I won't deny that. And we will have more Rome Imperium at some point, though I don't know when. The supply system is fantastic, and the army automation is what they should be instead of what they do in Vicky. I still think what they should do in Vicky is you assign like whatever armies you want inside of like a mega region, and then inside of that region you have like battles that occur. Like, I want them to abstract the system even more in theory, but I do suspect that might be just an awful, awful idea. But that's fine.
Now let's fix the pumps and water flow.
Oh, Hieronymus Bosch was a painter. Did you see that when you were in the fine capital of the Belgish Empire of Brussels? Alright, so we need to get some more water, which I think we have to fight a poop monster for. Upcoming game reminder. Next game. Wednesday at 8. Oh my god, I can't do that voice today. It's like crapping up my throat. Alright, we're gonna have to do a Mr. Beauregard for Remus. Why, the next game is Wednesday at 8. Usual spot. Hazard owes me $20. Arish, still on a fucking winning streak. Someone please figure out how he's cheating. Thompson, suspended for a game because of that shady dealing incident. Guy, I owe you $60. I brought beers last time, so heps to Tunstall's turn. Remus. Alright. No, but like, Imperator Rome is a game I'd love to like, and I will try it again at some point. Because I need to embrace reality. And what I mean by that is there is a mod whose name I do not recall for Imperator Rome, which allegedly greatly improves the game, which is what we'll do when we revisit it. Whenever that is. And indeed, the reality of 283 BC. The Halcyon years of... Was that when the Social Wars occurred? No, the Social Wars are referring to, like, that little kerfuffle they had. Oh, you're on level 2, not level 1. That little kerfuffle we had, basically the vassalage system they didn't want anymore. Though, what I'm trying to articulate now is the Roman concept... Not the Roman concept, the, oh my goodness. I didn't realize dodging did damage. Is it dodging near? No, dodging into. The italics wanting to be Romans? Okay. It's been so long since I've studied any appreciable amount of Roman history that I do not recall many of the memes and lores therein. Which is unfortunate, because I do love the Roman Empire. And the Bolds wanting to be Ariels. We don't talk about the Ariel victory scenario. She is an evil, evil aristocrat, given the position she carries as a princess, which those of you who are Romaboos would understand the distaste for any type of kingship or whatnot. No, but what I'm thinking of is the idea of the Gracchi brothers, for some reason. They are speaking to my heart. Going to war is the only way to get Italians to work together. I wish I did have, like, traveling around the world money. And I don't mean just, like, regular traveling around the world money, I just mean, like, I'm a leisurely aristocrat who has a well-managed domain. That just goes around the world and it's just like, I want to spend a month in Milan. We can have Milanos. Like, complete, like... Yeah, I would love to be bankrolled by the Saudi royal family. Like, if we have any... If anyone knows any Saudi royal princes that, like, brain rot content and, are able to, subscribe to Patreon, I'll totally take that money. So I could be an independently wealthy individual. But I digress. True, I could get a hot air balloon and then, like, market myself as, like, a hit hot air balloonist. I think you're... I think, do you say any Oilers in the chat? No, I think Oilers are a basketball team. We don't want to confuse the basketball people. Because, like, well, the basketball people have money, they don't have, like, the type of money I want. I want, like, actual, like, waste of space money, like, you're a Victorian, like, lord. I want, like, Downton Abbey, the first, like, 3-minute money. Like, 70 billion servants and, like, a dude who's, like, ironing your newspaper so you could read about the Titanic exploding. I really should have moved there. That was entirely my fault. I want to be Arthur Hastings. I don't know who this Arthur Hastings chap is, but he sounds pretty pog. Like my Hungarian math teacher from Calculus 2. Yeah. I want Poirot's companion. Oh, right, that's right. I really need to read more Poirot. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to be here. His manservant. No, that's more of a Rex Stout energy there.
Oh, this place is gonna come down.
I was planning on playing ABC Murders Blobber. I'm not sure if I'm happy or bad or titillated that it sounds like it's bad. I think my answer is just I'm sad, but... Someone is still sore about losing the race? There was an ABC Murders race? Oh my. What is going on in the world of the ABC Murders? I don't think we can really disparage anybody for getting a little bit EP. I still remember when Jake thought it was a good idea for some reason to do all of the Professor Laytons at the same time. I don't know what, like, ghost possessed him to think that was a good idea, but it was a fascinating watch. Yeah, that is still the one time I've gotten timed out in Jake chat, because I just felt so bad. Because he was so tired and so close to solution that I gave a bit of a hint. To which I was punished. Which, that's fair. It still made me very sad to see our local Scotsman explode. Was it worse than him not knowing how to draw a star? I don't remember that one. Given the fact that Jake was streaming at unreasonable times for us poor Americans. Pardon me for hiccuping there. Actually, this is Audie's job. We'll do Audie's job real quick. He wants us to burn biological rage.
Did Ati mean barrels from the hazardous? Seems like they're breaking some environmental regulations on waste disposal. But
Oh.
if that's what Ati wants, then I'll get it done.
I mean, I feel there's a certain allure to doing a 24-hour stream, as Young has done on a variety of occasions, and I have done once? Twice? I think I've done two 24-hour streams. One was the 24-hour EU4 Pirate MP, to which Blobber was a star, as was Strudel being a star, and I think there were a couple of other people that decided to draw themselves into that madness, but I don't remember who. Oh yeah, I will not deny that I was little baby and needed a little assistance in regards to getting over the line. Because I believe in sincerity here in Wellington Incorporated, and let me tell you what, sincerity is a very important thing about me talking about me losing my mind, and that's perfectly okay there. Mail tube complaint. Hey, Bozer. Nope, still can't do that accent. Hey, Bozer. Get this. No, that's too racist for Twitch. What accent can I do here? Organically grown brain rot? It wasn't the Dark Souls that was the problem. He had no idea how to draw a 5-point star without lifting the pen. Oh, that's pretty bad. Oh, DS, not Dark Souls. I understand. Brazilian? I can't do a Brazilian accent, even though I've talked a lot with Brazilians. So I mainly talked with Brazilian women. That's an entirely separate diatribe there. Channel your inner Brelix? I haven't figured out how to do Brelix's mannerisms. I can envision how he speaks in my head, but I have no idea how to mimic him. Which is regrettable. So I think we'll have to try Bernie Sanders. Hey, Bozer! You get this? The accounting department still says they have not received my expense reports. They say the receipts probably got lost in the mail tubes because of a shift, or a threshold, or some fuckery. That if I don't have the originals, they hit... If I don't have the originals, they can't verify my expenses or reimbursement. This is such bullshit. Why do we even have these useless fucking tubes if they can just spit our mail out at some other goddamn fucking dimension? Just venting here before I make a formal complaint. Useless pieces of shit. Rodriguez. Relix does a lot of switching T sounds into ch. I think the issue is, like, Brelix has a very particular pacing that I have no idea how to do. Because it's a dual problem of me not knowing how to do sound, and at the same time not knowing how to do pace. Which I guess is fine, but unfortunate when you're trying to do the very saccharine art of impressions or copy-pasting a voice, because then you just sound like a goblin. And while I do comport myself as a goblin much of the time, I don't want to be overly goblin-y, he says after he oh my god, that's so bright. After he just did a random Bernie Sanders impression, because he had no other idea how to do a bit. But that's okay. Sometimes being a goblin is the most socially acceptable thing to do. However, one should never do what is known as go into goblin mode, which I still don't fully understand the ramifications of what that's supposed to mean, given the fact that that whole conception worries me. And it's very regrettable that I'm using the phrase conception here, because that means something very different. I really need to, speaking of relics, I really do need to play the new iteration of Cataclysm. Not the new iteration, but someone made a, how do you call it? Well, that's really weird. A patch for... okay. Getting, like, Cataclysm to be the old spirit of it rather than into the new kind of form it's taken, which I think is problematic because of just, like, how goofy it is.
My name is Dr. Pierce, lead researcher of the Parakinesiology Department. I believe... My name is Dr. Pierce, lead researcher of the Parakinesiology Department. I believe that I've discovered a Code Omega paranatural entity residing within the Bureau itself, right under our noses. Darling refused to allocate me the budget or resources, so I'm taking matters into my own hands. Let this recording be the proof I need to convince them. The furnace can speak. It's been talking to me for some time now. Listen. Did you hear that? It's a sentient force, capable of communicating. I checked, and there's no record of ever installing this furnace. I believe that... Oh, sorry. What? Yes, I can feed you. What do you eat? I see. I'll try to find some volunteers.
Hello, Volcron. Hope you're having a lovely day. And how is it going? Well, let's just say that the Federal Bureau of Control needs to put more research into its COC division, or COC Guard division. The COC division is something very, very different. Life in general is going pretty alright. A lot of progress in getting things normalized. Is the way I'll phrase that. Which I'm pretty pog about. New Cataclysm funds Ivy League libraries? Is this a reference to something? Or is it a reference to my general disdain for Ivy Leagues?
We need to hurry.
Because I stand by my statement of fuck Harvard. Reference to Quantum Break? Understandable. Fuck whatever university that is as well. We don't accept first world problems here. Oh, right, I forgot that Mayor Carcetti's corporation funds, like, libraries. Oh, that's a lot of mold. Or is it a lot of poop?
If the plant goes boom, we can throw the spoon in the coal.
Is that mold or poop? Probably mold? And thank you, Volcron. I hope things are going lovely on your end. Still the worst thing they did in that game. Yeah, the Butterfly Corporation, like, wasn't the bad guy. I will still stand by that. Mayor Carcetti might be the bad guy, but, like, that is not because of any other reason that he was set in a very heterodox idea of what time powers constituted, which
My old enemy, the clock, is blocking the pipes. You need to deal with this.
What the hell is that? Oh, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
a literal poop monster. This is like some Resident Evil 7, 5, 6, and 8 energy right here. They're literally like spewing scum. I said scum. Perverts. No, should have seen that coming. Oh my god, this is so grody. See, like, this is one of the examples why I don't want to work at the FBC, because, like, I don't know if it's just Audie who deals with cleaning the poop monster, or if there's, like, an entire sub-department to the maintenance department that deals with, like, poop monster activities. This is just horrifying to the nth degree. There's like polyps here and everything. Which I suppose puts us more in kind of the energy of Binding of Isaac, which is a perfectly fine game. Or for those of you who like bullet hell roguelikes, I'd even go so very far as saying good. Have we cleaned the poop monster for Audie? I think we've cleaned the poop monster for Audie. As long as poop monster isn't related to Cookie Monster. Now, Blobber, I think you got some splaining to do. And when I say that, I mean that in, like, the Lucy you got some splaining to do type of energy here. Because, like, why would Cookie Monster be a poop monster? Is it because they are both members of the monster family? If so, it just says the Weird Champ. And the Weird Champ to the monster family. What did the monster family do to you? Is it because of the visual novel, Sometimes Only Monsters? Or the Monster Prom game, to which I have no idea what that's about, but I'm referencing it here because it came to mind? I don't know. Oh dear. So I make these noises with my spirit. I actually don't know what any of this is about. For some reason, I think Jesse Cox is in part responsible with the Monster Prom games. Which I will say, then it is perfectly reasonable to cast sus about it. Because I think he does have an entire segment on his channel where he reviews pornography games. Called the Gentleman Gaming Club. Which there's nothing wrong with reviewing pornography games, but it is still in the category of Weird Champ. I would go so far as to say that may just me be being a fuddy-duddy. Which I shan't deny, but my point does remain. Hi, Belle! I hope you're having a great day. That is a moment to arrive. I'm a little eepy. Is, how I'm going to at least haphazardly justify anything. But otherwise I'm doing pretty good. And yeah, as usual, I am a little eepy. I will say, I think my voice is shot because I spent far too long in a hot tub today after going to the gym. Welly doing a BR impression would be better. I don't know how to do a BR impression. My reference material is mainly Brazilian women that I know in IRL. And, like, the best female impression I can do... Though I did not even attempt it, Belle. I can do a lady impression, but it's only kind of like the husky, like, you're in danger kind of voice, which isn't in the spirit of the meme. I don't know how to do it because Brelix is my only, like, I've heard Orlov speak a bit, but not too terribly much, so Brelix is my main source of things. And Relix's speech patterns are more erratic than I'm used to. Not erratic, but like his punctuation and way he speaks is different in the manner in which I would normally categorize myself, which makes things more difficult. I know, Belle. But in terms of like the a female Brazilian like large language model database I have constructed of people, you're probably 10% of it. So I do not have enough data to attempt to even begin to do a meme impression of your voice. Nor the vocal patterns. Erratic and Brelix rhyme pretty well. Honestly, like, I am very grateful to about Brelix, especially for the Pepsi Man stream. I would not have had the confidence to go off script as much as I did in the Overblood stream as I did, if it were not for the fact that that day I watched Brelix with his high quality, well-produced nonsense, which I do thoroughly appreciate. Things go welly in considering how to fund his independently travels around Europe and while reviewing horror games. I mean, that's not what I said. I would review porn games if there was a market for people reviewing porn games. Like, as I've said many times before, I have no problem selling out. Like, I would, if I could draw, like, I'd be #1 furry producer. But I can't. So, oh god. No, but I don't think there's money in reviewing porn games. Like, what am I going to do? Start an OnlyFans that's like $5 a month that it's just like, hey guys! What's a porn game? Steam. Put you over here, so I don't accidentally screen menu. What am I going to do? Am I going to... Really? No porn games today. Actually, somewhat disappointed. Popular upcoming? Pixel Museum. That's not a porn game. That might be a porn game. A HoloLive game. Alright, I'm going to assume Cell Valence is a porn game. Given the fact that it's an FMV dating sim, and I'm not sure if it's like 3D generated FMV, but like, hey guys, I'm reviewing Cell Valence today. Like, it's like a 5 on the porn. It's like the pornography's like a 5 out of 5. Like, I like the booba. And, you know, there's some nice cock in there if you like cock. But, you know, there's a lack of lesbian scenes, which is really just kind of sad. And, you know. I'm sorry that Lucky's font of money has disappeared. Furry Hitler, yes. Furry Hitler is a porn game that I endeavor my level best to forget to ever consider every single time. Thank you for reminding me, Blobber. I appreciate it. He's stuck with streaming now. Yeah. That's why I started streaming again. Like what I'm really doing right now is I'm outing myself as like a top, you know, OnlyFans creator of like some type of content. I don't know what content I would make, but you know, some type of content that I have been disabused of due to my inability to adapt to the evolving market conditions of Gen AI, which is truly tragic. I'm radicalized now, because, like, the AI lewds are harshing my jive. Top, I pegged you as a bottom OnlyFans creator. Well, I mean, as with anything, like, you just need a little bit of success to say that you're among the top. Or that could be used as a joke insinuating that I'm a bottom, in which I say fuck you. But, without getting overly graphic, I can't counter that, so I'm just going to say fuck you, Wick. But no, like, there is a surprising amount of success you need to have in order to be considered a top creator. Because I think I'm in the top 10% of Twitch, which is horrifying. Which means, like, only, like, 0.5% or N% of Twitch creators are, like, partners rather than affiliates? I'm sure there's some meme there we can have regarding selection bias, but I'm not going to worry about. Get more than 4 viewers to be in the top 5. I mean, you're not wrong.
Now? Oh, man. Crew feels a lot safer when you're around.
If you've ever streamed ever, you're in the top 10%. It measures all users. Oh, I thought it measured all streamers. Okay.
Try to stay alive.
You gotta lock down the lift.
Alright, what does my Twitch ranking say? I'm now curious. I still have no idea how many people are here. What is it, like, Twitch viewers? No. Twitch data. Twitch tracker, I think. Does this tell me what I'm at? Or is there another thing I should be looking at? Because I remember looking at this a few months ago. Reverend Wellington. There I am. Apparently there's an Irreverent Wellington Vob. Created 3 years ago. Updated a few seconds ago. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. Does this tell me I'm ranking? My ranking is? No. Does this tell me my average viewers? But it gives me more... no data regarding anything else. Which is boring. Alright. 319,957. That's lower than I would like, but perfectly understandable, all things considered. But in the end, I suppose it doesn't matter unless you're trying to make money off Twitch. Or use it as some sort of affirmation thing, which... So I need to go to the control room now, which I can access from here. I mean, Kaladin does more things to improve his placement. I want to go to the control room. Which is that one. Yeah, streaming a lot helps. I would figure I would be doing a lot better if I streamed regularly for like a couple hours every day. Which I might do. At some point. But I don't know when. Which is, hey, I'm in the top 5% of Twitch streamers. Thanks, Blubber. Better perspective, marketing spiel. Bang, 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 bang. I really need to get the thing that allows me to, like, throw a bullet. Blobber only playing Wii games restricts his potential audience? I mean... Blobber's in the top 5%. The top 5%! The top 1% of the top 1% of Twitch streamers. I feel this is why Bernie Sanders makes such an appeal on this channel. We have Twitch oligarchs here, as Kaladin is and Blobber is. Though, due to his streaming of Pokemon games and visual novels involving ducks solving crime, Blobber has proven that he is a member of the proletariat. Man can't see a decimal point. And slowly going insane. Like else I'd only be playing Poker Rogue. Yeah, I would imagine a Pokemon roguelike would drive me fucking nuts. Like, I don't understand how people are able to play Pokemon as much as they may do as part of the Pokemon Activity Hour, otherwise known as Multi-Worlds. I guess that's fair. Though it does remind me of people whom I knew in high school that were just like Hornzo for Pokemos. Which regrettably I can mean in the lewd sense as well. Given like one of the first introductions I had to the lewd arts of the drawn variety was someone showing me very unfortunate things involving characters of the redacted Pokemon variety on their PSP. To which I just looked at them baffled why they were looking at that in the middle of a high school pavilion. Many years ago. And am now sad that the thought has been awoken inside of my mind. Yeah, I know Wick, but no, it was Pikachu, I think.
To protect them. Forces contained. Lockdown.
Oh no, it was definitely a teen, thankfully, Wick. The comedy ability of this segment can be quickly wiped away, so I'm going to be very careful here. But, it was indeed a teen who showed it to me when I too was a fellow teen. He was like 1 or 2 years ahead of me? This is back when I was in my code switching phase, as the kids call it. Yeah, Pikachu Bell, not Vaporeon, which is the traditional meme of nowadays. Normally they deep dive those stats around New Year where everyone does those year in review stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's reasonable. If you have an interest in, like, actually putting yourself forward on this platform, it does make sense to actually review those stats, because those stats are actually important for a variety of things, but, like, if you're Goblin Man, much like myself, it's, like, a novelty to see, like, stalking everybody's thing. But no.
That's it. The other sector should be open now. I think it's time I told Emily why I'm here. I'll risk it.
It was in the Wellington more code switching era. By code switching, I mean, like, I was one of those evil people who
You two should get to know each other.
always, at least was tacitly involved in, like, 90% of the social groups, even though you're not actually connected to any of them. And the person I'm thinking of was in the off-brand band. Like, loner band people. If only it was a choice between D&D or furry hentai. I mean, as we all know, it's D&D and furry hentai. Why is that awful? I mean, one could make an argument that if you're a person who code switches a lot, it could be a sign that, like, you are not sincere to yourself and basically, in a sense, attempt to acquire more affirmation with more people. You do not have your true face forward. If you were to think about it negatively within, like, a psychological, analysis type of way.
Jesse,
Also,
you made
what
it.
Strudel said.
And you lifted the internal lockdown.
Let's talk, Emily.
Yes, of course.
It's like maintaining, like, friend group A personality, B, C, D, E, F, G, elemental B, personality. Though it wasn't quite that bad. Alright, we're going to look about the note regarding the man. Hotline.
So much is expected from the director. The responsibility, the privilege to steer the Bureau into dangerous waters and safely out again. To inspire and lead its people, to protect them. The board is there to advise you, but they want things in return. You hold all this in your old, trembling hands. I had to lose everything before I could see the Bureau is the director's life. there's no room for anything else. If the forces contained here escaped, we'd be dragged back into an age of superstition, terror, death. Assuming you think we ever really left that behind. Any emergency, any major containment breach, and the lockdown goes into effect. I implemented this security measure in my first years as director. I knew we were vulnerable. I'd personally seen the cost of sloppiness. I made sure the internal lockdown could only be lifted by a directorial override, only to be used when the director is confident the sectors are safe to be opened again. This way, the director is the last line of defense. And if I screw up, it's on me, and me alone.
That surely means they start talking like Tom. I've only streamed 151 hours. I mean, if we put it in context, I've streamed for... Is that like the last calm down Uncle Ruckus? No, I am not Uncle Ruckus. Though I do like his sting when he enters into a room. It's just very, like, appropriate for the character, which just like the auditory mental conception of like the record scratching. But is that over the last 12 months or as of the year 2025, Blobber?
Listen, Emily.
Screw it. Just tell her.
I haven't been completely honest. I have a younger brother, Dylan. When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill. The slides created doorways to other places. Bad things happened. Came through.
That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside.
But we found help. Through one of the doorways, we met something. A being.
A being? What kind of being?
It's hard to describe, but she helped us.
Alright, so we
managed to
gender
turn
it
the
as she, so
projector
it's
off.
not Aiden.
The bad things that came through the doorways were gone. After that, your people came. Tried to grab us. I ran away. They got Dylan.
I left him behind.
Bureau agents took your brother?
Yes. You covered it up. No one believed me. I just want to find Dylan. I've been looking for him ever since.
What happened to the slide projector? It sounds like another object of power.
I thought you took it. The Bureau. Along with Dylan.
I've never heard of it. But around here, I assume everything's classified. You know, I looked into the Ordinary AWE case files after you mentioned it. Trench and Darling were both involved. A large area of the containment sector was reserved for it. The case hasn't been active for a long time. I have no idea if anything's still there. Can you tell me more about this being you found?
Looks like a battery pack.
Let's hope you two get along.
She's been with me ever since Ordinary. In my head. She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
As in a guiding star. Did Polaris know about the hiss? If she got you in here in spite of the lockdown, she's very powerful. Which may help explain your test results. Your readings are incredible, Jesse. Now, cross-referencing them with the database, I found 2 matches in Darling's old classified files. Unfortunately, I can't access them beyond the file codes, but one was P6, referring to a prime candidate for a potential future bureau director. This was logged years ago.
Dylan. Is that Dylan?
The other match is on something called Hedron, which must be connected to these Hedron resonance amplifiers somehow. All I know is that Marshall went to the research sector to secure the HRA production after the Hiss first attacked.
So, Marshall seems like our best lead on Dylan.
I need to go after her. How can I get to the research sector?
Use my keycard. The sector elevator will take you there.
Marshall is the next step. What Emily told me about Ordinary, my powers being connected to things in the Bureau's past. I am so close to something. Do you feel it? Something's coming.
We take turns to come for a visit. I helped you. You owe me now. And when time comes, I will come calling.
Oh, Auntie. Acting so creepy there, babe. And welcome back, Nemi.
Hi, Jesse.
See you soon.
Wait, are
Be
those all
careful out
new?
there.
I don't remember Monte
back anything
Carlo
good.
being on the list. Oh, Ocean View Motel and Casino.
See you
I
soon.
understand now.
Be careful out there.
I don't think those are new. Alright, true. My true personality is that of apparently Hitler in the bunker, yelling about Steiner, or in the case of me losing against the Japanese, Emperor Bing Chiling. What's that guy's name? Not Sun Yat-sen. Wu Beifong? Who's the Chinese Rommel? I don't remember his name. No, not Hirohito. I'm thinking about the Chinese general who is regarded as their greatest military thinker offensively. He's one of their leaders in Hoi 3 or Hoi 4, though I do not recall what his name is, regrettably. Not Sun Tzu. Okay, you and Shu will have the same brain cell being shared. Alright, Pog. Okay, don't say Pog. Chinese significant nationalist Chinese generals, WW2. Oh my god. Sun Yu, I think, or Su Yu? Or is it Sun Yu? Su Yu is who I'm thinking of. No. Not this guy. Though he does have a very smug look on his face. Su Yu? Am I gonna have to boot up Poi? Oh my god. I don't remember this guy's name. Okay, don't do TNO. I'm gonna have a brief digression right here. Being chilling to Wellington has started playing Hoi 4. No, I'm specifically thinking that, A nationalist leader, not a Republican leader, or not a communist leader. Get that Black Ice game. Yeah, this is all a big fake out for a Black Ice game, everybody. We're gonna speedrun Hitler losing World War II, by which I mean we're gonna play Hitler and we're gonna lose the war in 1940, not even be able to take France. There's no Chinese genocide going on. We will be the Chinese and valiantly defending ourselves against the imperial threat. This person apparently is going to be a lot less significant than I remember him being, which is going to be really funny about this. Given the fact that like I looked this up. No, not by Shang-Chi or Chong-Chi. Alright, I guess we're doing this now. Li Zongren is not who I'm thinking of, that's this guy. This is so dumb. I'm gonna be livid if his name is Sun Tzu. I am going to be beyond livid. Alright, please tell me he's a starting Chinese general, or this is gonna be fucking terrible. Sun Li Zhen. That's who I was thinking of. Not Lu Bu. That's a different era. Sun Li Zhen. That is who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Sun Li Zhen. There we go. Nemi preempted me by like a millisecond here. Alright, I have brought great shame upon my dynasty by forgetting this. We're going to exit out of Hoi. See, that's just a sizzle reel for all the Hearts of Iron we're going to be playing there. Other nationalist generals of note: Chen Chang, Chiang Kai-shek's protege, effective administrator; Zhu Yu, also known as Patton of Asia by some; Sun Li Zhen, Western trained, very competent, especially against the Japanese; Du Yuming, capable but suffered major defeats, including the disastrous Huahai campaign. Du Yuming, he was a kid general. Yeah, I was seeing that occur there too, Bummer. Don't think you were the only one. Why did I have to say I'm not perturbed at all. These desks, Jackie's chant. Honestly, I've said it multiple times. Oh, I think I've only said this. The only thing I've said this to my coworkers. If I could be isekai'd right now, I don't mean this. There are other places I'd rather be isekai'd. But I'd like to be isekai'd into the energy level of like a 70-year-old Chinese grandmother, just so I can like play mahjong and just like sass my grandchildren all day. I think that'd be a pretty pog place to be. Just imagine like existing and just like yelling at your children. This is why I think Uncle is an unappreciated character. We both know you're getting isekai'd into Catboy Paradise. I don't want to be isekai'd into Catboy Paradise. Nemi, we don't need to worry about arthritis when we're playing Mahjong. Mahjong is not an arthritis activation game. Mahjong is a neuron activation game. Please, we know you would be isekai'd as a princess married off to the demon overlord. And you know what? I would turn the demon overlord into a bottom wick. He would be dominated within a week. Review results. The American Overnight Program. The America Overnight Program has operated successfully for over redacted years. Originally designed to assist in providing disinformation to the naturally skeptical population of America, It has additionally led to the discovery of numerous AWEs and altered materials by allowing civilians to call in and report their experiences with the paranatural. In fact, America overnight alerted the Bureau of Federal Control and Redacted in its first year of operation alone. In this report, the investigation sector has cataloged and categorized each episode of America Overnight that has resulted in a successful Bureau investigation in order to help AWE occurrence analysis. The more redacted results of Night Springs have been cataloged in a separate report. Refer to file redacted, please. Let me see this. For full report. The more the fact that Night Springs here is deeply concerning. Just learn Mahjong. I want to learn Mahjong, Lizard. But, like, the only people who I know play regularly Mahjong are Lucky Chord people. And I don't know how to, I'm not sure if I want to be an internet Mahjong person. I think there's something very satisfying to be in a life or death struggle where there's, like, 70 Chinese grandmothers, like, with a knife to your throat, like, yelling at you to learn Mahjong better. I think there's something that sparks joy in that affair. He's really thought this one out. I mean, honestly, if I were to be isekai'd, I'd rather be isekai'd into the world of Mushoku Tensei or Yojo Senki, just for the ability to have well thought out kind of settings, so to speak, which I very much enjoy. There are some in Phoenix that I've seen. The issue is that 9 a.m. is my bedtime, and I wake up at like 6 p.m. on non-work days. Which is the issue about that. Speaking of which, it's 8:13 a.m. now, so let me go grab my melatonin. Melatonin has been consumed. We have a timeline into despair and madness for our stream now. That was almost very bad. Okay.
Darling, head of research. Somebody thought this video would make for great internal communications.
Have we seen this already?
I'm looking at you, Mr. Tomasi.
I think we have.
This is where the magic happens. Anyway, I've been here for 24 years now. I've always been here. And through those years, we've made astonishing discoveries, authored studies of grave importance, and in all this work, there is one thing we know, and that's how little we truly know. Rest assured, we're committed to keep pushing the known laws and borders of reality, and to make the Bureau proud. So, welcome. Assuming you have the necessary clearance, and do follow the safety protocols. Read the manual. Otherwise, bad things will happen.
Research sector, huh? Home of the Bureau's mad scientists.
I imagine my bedtime makes it perfect for, like, the European audience in general. Because I'm like the lunch entertainment and dinner entertainment type of block, depending on where on the continent you are and how late I stream. Because generally I like streaming from like 4 a.m. to yeah, 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. my time is generally where I like streaming. Hey, so I was just wondering about the plants and research. Is it really necessary to sing to them? I mean, that janitor does seem to have a nice voice, and the plants sure seem to like it. Maybe he could just switch it up a bit? I'm getting pretty tired of the tango. Where did these plants even come from? No one seems to remember when they were planted, and people like them a bit too much. If you ask me, are we being invaded by houseplants? Worth looking into, Dr. Lewis. That was my most desperate attempt to channel Karen energy right there. And I think I went a bit too far, if I'm to be entirely honest. That's probably okay. Or I'm going to choose not to worry about that. What are you? Synchronicity. Introduction. Synchronicity is a phenomena long recognized by the wise, but only recently given a name by science. It is how we rationalize events connected by no identifiable causality, yet clearly conjoined in purpose. How does a dream foretell of an event in the physical plane? Why do hounds bail at the death of their master, which has occurred miles away? The world is unified in ways we do not yet understand, and sometimes we stumble across these invisible, unseen chords and wonder at the result. The visionary Carl Jung laid the road, and now we must walk it. My fledgling research department will make it our mission to reliably reproduce redacted behavior by the close of 1959. Once done, the mechanics of synchronicity will lay themselves bare in due time. We are striding into the future of science. History may not remember our names, but God himself will. Refer to file redacted for the full report. Penned by Dr. Theodore Ashe, first head of research. That's fair, Nemi. Like, it's hard to do, like, a proper Karen accent, especially when you have, a high level of, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. Ale in your aura. It is, very unfortunate. Yeah, no. I need to aim at Dick. Empathy is also correct. I do not know how I would be able to be overly mean to a cashier. It is not in my spleen. And I understand why Young cares about it quite a bit. I think I always have this thing I say to people, that people have Like, I will give everybody one weird thing that they believe in, as, like, I'm not going to give you too much shit for it. Like, I think there is a level of, like, how to say it? I think Jung is onto something with his concept of synchronicity, but it is not something we know how to articulate or fight against normal, heavily biased things, which makes it hard to reproduce. I will think. I think human nature is fundamentally governed by the ethics of the time. And if you live in a fundamentally good era, you will have fundamentally good people. If you have fundamentally evil people, or if you live in a fundamentally evil era, you'll be more likely to select for fundamentally evil people. Like, we were talking about this on the side, regarding Jung, but I think there is an element to the collective unconsciousness that is what society governs as everything, so to speak, that gives us our... I think the collective unconscious is a very useful thing when thought of in the meta perspective of what guides ethics and the intellectual framework that shapes people, and less like the big bad end guy scene from Code Geass. Which I think a lot of, like, people who I've interacted with in the real life kind of take it as, which is probably unfortunate. But, like, I think there are some things that I would love if we could determine the logic of the phenomena. But due to the fact of, like, they're not reproducible or not easily reproducible, or what have you, it makes it difficult to actually govern anything reasonable. Because, like, what's coming to mind for me is, like, Jung's thoughts about precognition. What's being described here is synchronicity, which are phenomena which we now generally attribute to psychosomatic things where our mind fits things in after the fact, which in order to justify things like deja vu or what have you. But I think at all levels of the ideas is there's hope on all sides, and we just don't know how to deal with it yet, which I'm trying to be very careful about how I'm speaking here because of the amount of shit I give string theory, of which their biggest problems are reproducibility and actual falsifiability. Like, I don't want to say, like, I think this thing is neat and fall into that same trap. Because I have no idea how you would test for some stuff. How do we test for Madame Cleos that are actually real and not fake? Which I suppose is the plot of entire, like, millions of dollars spent by the CIA, but we're not going to worry about that today. Alan Wake event, or Altered World event 18, possible AWE in which an unnamed individual experienced transcorporeality via telephone line. This event is similar to AWE blank, which is the hotline. The event is believed to have been caused by redacted and results in the following measures to prevent redacted. in 93. I don't know what I'm trying to get on about. Very informative. I do love how many things are incredibly redacted inside of our fascinating haunts found in the Bureau. Seen you?
I've been feeling
Oh god, we haven't seen you.
questions.
Collectibles, multimedia.
I've been fielding questions recently regarding HRAs. What are they for? Do you always need to wear them? And what's the deal with the Hedron resonance anyway? Fuck. Despite what you may have heard, HRAs are not monitoring devices. We're not tracking your movements or listening to your conversations while you're wearing them. We do that regardless whether or not you're wearing an HRA. Think of them as a life preserver. Only instead of water, the thing HRAs protect you from is classified. One day that classified, not water, might pour in, and you'll be glad you got an HRA keeping you afloat. And if you don't have an HRA, don't worry. It'll be quick and painless. Kidding. I'm kidding. We're making more.
Yeah. Drunk man talks about thing.
Welcome to the research sector of the Federal Bureau of Control. I'm Dr. Casper Darling, head of research.
Watch that. Let's watch another couple of the trench things. We did that, we did the hotline, we did the lockdown, the coming storm.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino is a familiar friend to me. I stayed in countless motels like it while investigating AWEs across the country, back in my field agent days. Those roadside motels all bleed together like a dream. Same and not the same. Anywhere and nowhere. The Ocean View operates on dream logic, and the light switch cord leaks out to be found in the most unexpected places, and sometimes successfully encouraged to appear and act as a convenient lock to keep out those not trained in dreamscape navigation. Even Bureau veterans can only find one key in the motel. The key that opens the door marked with the inverted black pyramid. The rest, the many other doors, are still mysteries to us. We're all merely guests there. Even the board. Sometimes I need to visit just to breathe easier for a while. It beats the numb, sterile apartment I spend my nights in, insulated from everything but myself.
Huh.
I guess that's where the whiskey comes in.
So, I just had a really weird thought.
Recently, regarding HRs.
What if the board is... I feel like we're beginning to throw this term around way too much. Like our own little Remedy-verse version of a Ludo narrative dissonance. But what if, like, the board in and of itself is some gestalt? Like, what does gestalt mean? Jungian gestalt. Gestalt therapy is a form of psychotherapy that emphasizes personal responsibility, blah, blah, blah. What is Gestalt? From actual therapy. I want to know what the meaning of a Gestalt is. Alright, Wick. The reason why I keep using Gestalt is from the sci-fi novel that I read has gestalts for each of the various species, which is basically a personification of, and at the same time, basically data aggregates of all of the species of a given species or civilization based off of like social media and all these other things. Which I'm going to guess is based off of the author, how the author does things, is closer to what the actual meaning. According to Merriam-Webster, Gestalt is something that's made of many parts and yet is somehow more than or different than the combination of the parts. That is terrible. Gestalt theory even Jungian? Gestalt and Jungian... Oh no. What I'm oh-knowing about is I saw this and I was wondering if we're going to have to lay the iceberg as one of Jung's sin. Though this is just how someone wants to describe Freud. Alright, I need to be careful here. Alright. I can confirm there was nothing that needed to be properly censored in the thing I flashed by, because they are all men. They're all sufficiently clothed. I don't think anyone's dead. I'm going to stop looking at this now. Because... concerned. Alrighty. So, what I'm trying to get at is... there was something in Darling's speech that made me think of the idea of the kind of universal unconsciousness or Gestalt or what have you. Because the board is also a renter. Yet the board seems invested in humanity. And the Federal Bureau of Control is the interface between the board and the material plane. I don't think that the board represents a religious icon in the form of God, given how ineffectual it is. Though I don't know how Jung views capital G God in his works. Right? I don't recall. Which leads me to assume it might be something else. But I don't know. Dear Dr. Darling, I suspect my colleague Dr. Harrington has already contacted you asking for an increase in her department's budget. I'm not surprised. Parapsychology has always been the squeaky wheel, all fuss but no result. Parakinesiology has always been the stronger department, more breakthroughs, more tangible data, more useful research. I'm sure a man of your esteem can plainly see which department is more deserving of a budget increase. Just think of those additional resources could do for an already formidable research team. Anyway, I know you're a fan of single malt, so I left a bottle of well-aged brown on your desk. Yours in admiration, Dr. Abraham Lewis.
Despite what you...
Resonance theory. Resonance is there, but we can't see it. It vibrates around us, through us, from us. But what if the vibration is conscious? What could a force like that do? Redacted opened a door to a redacted I've called redacted. The redacted emits a force that is far beyond the forces we previously dealt with that has shown me so much that I have to wonder, is resonance the key element in all altered phenomenon? AWEs, altered items, objects of power, do they share a common redacted? Presumably resonance that we've yet to discover? Can we harmonize control points? What else would the correct frequency allow us to achieve? What if resonance has been the answer the whole time? Refer to redacted for a full report.
may have heard. HRAs are not my devices.
Any other lore here, Dr. Darling? Astral Plane Counter Essay by Emily Pope. Dr. Darling is insistent that certain objects of power share a direct connection to redacted. Entity or group of entities that we have little information on or little that I'm allowed to access. Connection to the board. In his written reports, he states that there's a clear link between these objects of power, the board, the astral plane, and the oldest house itself. His work supposes that the links are innate and, in fact, ingrained into the very resonance lay redacted of objects such as the hotline or the service bin. But what if these particular objects were never linked to the board, but that connection forced upon them? Isn't it strange that no other OOP requires such a direct contact with the board? Isn't it strange that using the service weapon or the hotline will result in grievous harm or even death? The user is not the director, or at least worthy of the role? Why do we assume this involvement by the board is a natural fact and not something more redacted? Something more redacted. So the noun there is the board, but I don't know what, well, here we go. Collective unconscious, shared by all human minds, series of through this collective unconsciousness, we unknowingly attribute a series of images, archetypes to all elements in our lives. These archetypes are never fixed, but shift and change in tandem with our species and culture. This internal belief in images of power, shared by a massive population, is redacted. The creation of altered items, blah 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 blah. Theoretically, places of power could likewise be formed by the simple power of sustained collective belief.
Listening to your conversations.
I wasn't picked up by my microphone, but I did a Marge grumble there. Dimensional research. I don't think we can access. Oh dear, we can. So it looks like a room in the Ocean View Motel that has a bottle of... 2 bottles of whiskey, or a bottle of whiskey and a bottle of wine there? I'm uncertain. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out, though, what it is that is going on. Oh, those are actual snipers. Sad. Wellington gets hit scanned to death. Dies tragically. And indeed, we did get boop, got your nosed. Well... Hello, Baron. How are you doing today? I'm doing dead. That's lovely to hear. I need game journalist difficulty here. No, I got the dodge ability. I don't remember what gives you the fly ability. White bar under your crosshair. That is if you're referring to the thing that just turned red. That is above my crosshair rather than below. It is my power bar. Oh yeah, no, the FBC is Pog Baron. If it wasn't for the fact that they had, like, Mega Spookums kind of, like, blowing them up right now, like, I wouldn't mind working for them. So everyone's dressed all spiffy like it's the 1950s, so, like, everyone's not, don't say derriere. Everyone has a sense of savoir-faire, I believe the term is. And, like, we got that Primo California drip, which, as your local California collaborator here, I have to say I always do very much appreciate. White bar under your crosshair. Yes, the white bar under my crosshair is ammo. The white bar above my crosshair is ammo of the ability persuasion. So for example, what allows me to throw the big rock at various goons. Oh god. I really wish I had the, what do you call it? That was way too close. Really wish I had the barrier ability right now. I might have missed where I needed to go grab it. Though, to be more aggressive, I know for a fact I probably definitely missed where I needed to go to grab it properly. But I doubt I need the actual fly ability to do it. Now that I think about it a bit more. Because that would have been really useful in that last engagement. I don't want to deal with you. We need to go that way. We'll get yelled at by reality if we walk this way. Which means there's a control point somewhere around here that governs that. I remember there being a control point down here when I watched Jesse Cox play. Thresholds have always been a source of great inspiration and great challenge. When a new threshold manifests in the oldest house, by Redacted, we never know what new discoveries it will provide to the Bureau, but we must always seize these opportunities. The report will examine the process of distinguishing recent threshold events based on their utilitarian possibilities. The quarry brought Blackrock, one of our most invaluable discoveries, but if the mold has any scientific value, it has been difficult to find due to the lengths we must go to fighting it back. The particularly prolific plant. Which here's the mold. We'll see more about the mold later, though that is late mid-game quest, if I recall correctly. Though, to be fair, these are third-person recollection. Blackrock analysis. Hi, Carla. Does it strike you as odd that Darling insists on us having appear in those bizarre videos of his? I mean, we just stand there. He doesn't even let us have lines or anything. Don't get me wrong, beats a day in the lab. Plus, it's always great to work with you. Oh yeah, I finished the comprehensive analysis of the two Blackrock samples you sent. The prism, or whatever it's called, I filed them in the usual place. Under C for Carla. A handy pneumatic device, right? Ha ha! Anyways, let me know if there's anything you want to discuss about the data. I'll gladly explain. Maybe we could chat about it over some drinks, or dinner even. I can't remember the last time I had a good steak. Maybe tomorrow we could go together after work sometime. I'm free tomorrow. All the very best, Hubert. From Hubert Tan to Carla Vaughn. Hubert's got some swag. We don't know if Hubert is a certified Rizzler. That message points to probably not, which is unfortunate for Hubert. Because, like, we all want a little bit of Riz in your life. I mean, we don't know if the oldest house has a proper HR department. Though, given that this is a federal agency, there probably is a very powerful HR department. Though, like... Oh my god, you actually can destroy everything. I figured the center of the table would be safe, but... Oh. You could actually just destroy the entire thing. Oh, I love the fucking physics of this game. I am sorry, my friend. That worries me a bit. I thought there was a control point in here. I thought there was one right around here, but looks like all the control point energy is being put towards resisting the mold. I've been playing Minecraft as of late. It has Thaumcraft as an active mod, so I almost said resisting the taint. Which would have sounded horrifying out of context, and probably still sounds how horrifying now. Those of you unfamiliar with Minecraft, the Thaumcraft variety, paint is a big bad because it basically is your local eldritch corruption in an area that makes it very hard to live there, which is really sad. Which is not advisable to live there because your base will be overrun and sadness will grip your heart. Okay, I guess we do have to go to lab 1, which worries me greatly. Yeah. Okay. Acoustic research? Oh, it's of the fall. Night. The world is mine with nobody else out here. It's time to run wild and royally cavalier. To born ignite, I do it for so much less. When all is made clear, there's nothing else. And over here we stand, the sweet, arresting duality. And I come to you, it's resin all over me. I will awake, will I get a ride with you in this race of 2? Why would you have one wall of anechoic chamber not be coded? That is horrible. It is as much weird champ as the fact of having like massive speakers in an anechoic chamber. Because if I were to go in here, I'd bet this wall is covered. Yeah. Flames mesmerizing, my dark disquiet playing such thunder, my dark disquiet singing such haunting melodies, so light, so still, so bright, almost painful now. But the window isn't, and I agree, Blobber. Though, like, the speakers weird me out as much as the window weirds you out, is more of my point. Did the song elicit any particular memories? If so, elaborate. Did you at any point feel a strong emotion? If so, what emotion? Did a clear image of a weapon appear in your mind during the song? If so, elaborate. Provide a detailed description of your current surroundings as you see them. Have you ever heard the murmur of voices wherein no one is present? If so, what did they say? Do you hear them now? Please choose from which of the following pairs. 1, 2, A, B. Day or night, apple or orange, burn out or fade away. The eerily clear echo of the song. Is there any lore in here as I have to speak aloud? Redacted, redacted, redacted. Okay, no redacted. Alright. I probably should have turned this off. I mean, the floor isn't either, which is also pretty bad. Because the last anechoic chamber I was in, there was basically a jungle gym style mesh, which required you to sort of, you know, interact via that mechanism in order to do what you needed to do. UEAJ is usually its rating for the floor. Okay. Oh.
She's in trouble. I need to reach her.
Honestly, like, once again reminded of, like, my love of physics and how that intersects with, like, goofy things. Like, I loved being in an anechoic chamber. Not for a long period of time, because for those of you who haven't been in one, it's really weird. Like, it is, like, very discomforting to be in a place that the loudest noise that is there is the, kind of the ringing in your ear that just kind of happens organically. Which I don't know what causes that either. And I might sound insane, but to put it another way, your own heartbeat is another thing you can hear, but like, when you put on a really good pair of, not noise canceling headphones, but quite literally, like earplugs, it quiets the sounds around you, and there's kind of like a white noise ring, which you could kind of hear. I mean, it is a form of tinnitus, probably, but, like, it's not really bad. Are you telling me you're supposed to hear literally nothing other than your heartbeat when you're in such a space? Not like a very light tinnitus? Streamer is projecting. Alright. Regrettably, though, ideally you don't have hearing damage. I don't even know how I got hearing damage. I feel like I'm being gaslit. It's not me who is wrong, it's the children. Too many Schemo band mosh pits. I was never in the Screamo.
Hope has asked us to document the hiss incantation, she calls it.
You mean like in person?
In person, with a pencil and paper. I think she's trying to get us killed.
More energy would be. More damage would also be nice. So upgrade grip. Pierce is a different gun. Shatter is a shotgun. The spin is probably your SMG. This is just basically where we spend our money. I do need to spend. One more damage. Right now, I'm debating between increasing health and energy or increasing our launch damage by 175%. Honestly, launch damage by 175% probably seems ideal, but I will probably sleep on that. For now, however, I will enjoin our stream to its end, given the fact that I have work later today, and I am very mentally peckish, otherwise known as sleepy. So gonna see if we have anyone else streaming in the community, right into them. Oh my good lord, we have quite a few people. What's Franco doing? Franco's just starting. We'll right into Franco. Field Twitch name. Well, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon. I will see you all next time. We'll probably be continuing with Control. Otherwise, we'll figure it out. But otherwise, yeah, have a lovely day.